Welcome back to Nurturing. I'm Ginny Connon. Nurturing is all about growing and caring for and safeguarding our energy. This podcast is all about entertaining your well-being. If you're looking for positive motivation, just a voice to listen to, I'm glad you found me and tuned in. Consider this a little positive reset in your day. Today, I'm sharing with you something I'm always working on, consistency, and the app that I found kind of by happenstance that is now helping me with it. I'll be sharing 3 positive phrases that showed up in my life this week and a little positive Q&A. Let's get into the positive energy of consistency, shall we? So I made a quick list of things that I'm already consistent at, and it really started me off in a positive mindset. It was this little creative action that got the ball rolling, and that made me realize I needed to bring in more positive boundaries to make consistency easier for me. I'm not sure exactly how this works, but I put out an intention to increase my consistency, and I noticed an app that came up that was advertised on my phone. It was a sleep app, and I thought, hey, that actually makes sense. Go back to the basics of falling asleep and waking up. There are a lot of interesting, neat benefits to this app. I want to share. You can do a meditation before you go to sleep and work on all different things, whether it be going into a deeper sleep or self-confidence or stopping the rumination, too many thoughts in your head. I was doing the deep sleep meditation because I did notice that it was measuring that, I want deeper sleep. So, hey, deep sleep. And it got down to my toes, and I was like, okay, I'm trying to relax my toes, and I'm not very good at relaxing my toes. Then I realized that I do have a little bit of antsy energy. What kind of trapped energy is hanging out in my toes that I need to release? Our Pomeranian Bella sleeps in the room sometimes, and the app records pet noises. It did record saying that I have possible sleep apnea. And then I listened to the recording and realized that was Bella's panting. My thought here is these apps need a little grain of salt and definitely a side of humor as well. I mentioned the app to a friend who has a young daughter who's waking her up at night. And she said, well, it's my daughter, not me. And then I realized, I wonder if there's a children's version of the app. So what I find is anytime I'm trying to start something new, and it's a learning process, it's a challenge, the more consistent I can be showing up to it, not perfect, consistent, the more accountable I can be. And this brings me to the article that I'm writing on accountability. I interviewed a mindset coach and a weight loss dietitian on accountability. Her name is Leah Van Older. In our conversation, she said these 3 words that just lit me up. We were talking about procrastination, and she shared her words and her mindset follow through quickly. Right now, my work-life balance is a little off balance, and those words really did help me get back on track with being able to manage everything that I'm doing right now. It might mean sacrificing one event to finish something that is going to take a whole day. That might not seem quickly, but when that project is off the list, that's a big follow through quickly. Procrastination is an interesting energy because it can help you focus on your priorities and what needs to be nurtured, what needs to be followed through more quickly the next time. If I'm feeling dragging on a project, I like to use a little mental trick of going into the energy of completion, a little skip into the future, and it makes me happy and also just gives me that motivation to get it done, to follow through more quickly. A little positive sidebar on boundaries. If there's a lot on our plate, and that includes being interrupted during the day, As difficult as it might be, it is important to set boundaries and let other people know that you are not available, that you need to focus in order to follow through quickly. Those who care about you and have compassion for your process will understand. It brings up a positive note here. It shows you people in your life who are supporting you authentically. That is so huge. My next 3 positive words are not so perfect. Not so perfect. Everything comes across flat, or it doesn't work out if I'm trying too hard. Like doing this podcast this morning, I'm really trying not to be so perfect. It's one of the first ones where I'm really just speaking into a microphone, and I know that it's going to get easier and I'm going to be more comfortable, but yeah, it's my first time, so I have to understand that it's just not going to show up exactly how I envisioned it in my mind waking up this morning after my deeper sleep. I brought a lighter, more positive energy to the microphone this morning. So thank you to that coach who once said to me, Ginny, not so perfect. The last 3 words I want to share with you today are practice makes progress. And that fits in right with consistency. Full circle. I like to think that life in general is practice. Every time I show up to an event, there's something that comes out of it that I use for the next time. This definitely takes the pressure off my perfectionism that I nurtured in my childhood and youth. Finding the blessing in this story, if I wasn't so driven to be perfect, what would I not be driven to do today? I actually just had to turn the volume down on the perfectionism to get anything done. Turn the volume down and also look at boundaries as a positive thing. And I'm not letting people down. I'm putting my emotional well-being, my mental health, as my number 1 priority, and I'm doing it more consistently. A few more positive thoughts to end off this podcast. Yeah, it's a short one today. However, I have set a positive boundary on my time today. I started journaling this year again after a very long hiatus, a long break. I'm doing what are called morning pages from the book The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, and it's a book that came back into my life after 30 years. This was a great challenge for my consistency because part of the book asks you to do 3 morning pages every day. Intuitive writing, some people call it brain dumping, where anything that comes to your mind, you just write it out. And it really did show me exactly where I am with my consistency and how much I have going on in my life. Can I make the time for it? And the answer was no. I couldn't make the time right now with what I have going on, but I've set a goal to get back to it. Ironically, I've been asked to do a project, which is a writer's collab, making a journal, and it's on positivity. I didn't make that title up, so just another clue that everything is aligning. So I thought it'd be really fun when I do these solo podcasts is to include some journal prompts. One of the things that keeps me so positive, keeps me so glass half full, is my creativity. I'm a creative being inside and out. So I thought this journal prompt could nurture some of your creativity, your positive creativity. So here's my weekly journal prompt. Write about a time when creativity nurtured your life in a positive way. I'm going to finish off this positive reset with a few Q&A questions and answers. There are links to my social media in the description of this podcast, and if you do have some questions that you'd like me to highlight, if I can give you my answer from my experience and that can bring more positivity to your day, feel free. So here's a funny question. Somebody asked me, is this your real voice? Yes, it's my real voice. when I'm doing narrative for my podcast and I'm editing music and interview clips together, I really go into the energy of the person, and that's how it comes across sometimes. So you're going to hear me a little more excited or a little softer. It's just all me, but it's me also picking up on the energy, and as an energy worker, that just is how I roll. I did think it was a funny coincidence that I got a sleep app the same week this question came up, and it has voices that are very soft and soothing, very meditative. Perhaps there's a little conscious or unconscious positive manifestation happening in here somewhere. Recapping this positive reset, follow through quickly. Thank you, Leah. Practice makes progress. And of course, not so perfect. I'm Ginny Connon, entertaining your well-being. Thanks for listening.